Captain America: The Winter Soldier, 2014. Steve Rogers struggles to adapt to modern life while serving S.H.I.E.L.D. in Washington, D.C. Though respected as Captain America, he feels disconnected from contemporary values. During a mission aboard a hijacked vessel, Steve meets Natasha Romanoff, whose secrecy contrasts his honesty. Back on land, Nick Fury warns Steve about S.H.I.E.L.D's growing surveillance power. Project Insight, a global defense system, troubles Steve morally. His distrust grows as ideals clash with control. When Fury is attacked and assassinated, Steve realizes an unseen enemy operates within S.H.I.E.L.D. itself, turning allies into threats and freedom into an illusion. After Fury's apparent death, Steve becomes a fugitive accused of treason. Trusting only Natasha, he uncovers hidden data Fury left behind. Their investigation reveals Hydra's infiltration of S.H.I.E.L.D. dating back decades. Hydra manipulated global events secretly, shaping chaos to maintain control. Steve's belief in transparency opposes Hydra's ideology of fear. As assassins close in, Steve experiences betrayal from those he trusted. He refuses to surrender his principles. The line between enemy and ally vanishes. Hydra's presence transforms institutions meant to protect into weapons of oppression, forcing Steve to fight the system rather than serve it. Steve and Natasha seek help from Sam Wilson, a former soldier using experimental wing technology. Sam joins without hesitation, sharing Steve's belief in freedom. Together, they uncover Hydra's plan to eliminate threats preemptively using Project Insight. Millions could die based on algorithmic predictions. During an ambush, Steve encounters the Winter Soldier, a lethal assassin with superhuman abilities. Shock freezes Steve when he recognizes Bucky Barnes, his childhood friend believed dead. Bucky shows no recognition, only cold efficiency. The emotional revelation destabilizes Steve. The past collides violently with the present, turning personal loyalty into a battlefield. Steve refuses to accept Bucky as lost, believing his friend is trapped mentally. Hydra's brainwashing stripped Bucky's identity, transforming him into a weapon. Natasha researches Bucky's history, confirming his manipulation and repeated memory erasures. Meanwhile, Hydra leadership prepares Project Insight for launch. The threat escalates rapidly. Steve struggles between mission urgency and personal hope. He cannot abandon Bucky, even if it risks failure. His faith in people defines him. While others see an enemy, Steve sees a victim. This belief shapes his choices, proving heroism is rooted in compassion rather than efficiency or blind obedience. The team infiltrates S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters to expose Hydra publicly. Chaos erupts as loyal agents clash with infiltrators. Steve broadcasts Hydra's existence worldwide, inspiring resistance. The truth dismantles Hydra's secrecy. Meanwhile, Project Insight launches despite interference. Massive helicarriers rise into the sky, targeting millions. Steve and Sam attack from within, while Natasha uploads Hydra's data to expose every crime. Battles rage through the air and steel corridors. Steve confronts Bucky again, refusing to fight back. He appeals to their shared history. Though conflicted, Bucky hesitates, revealing cracks in Hydra's control over his mind. As Insight threatens mass destruction, the heroes race against time. Steve replaces targeting chips, redirecting helicarriers toward each other. Explosions tear through the sky. Sam fights relentlessly despite injury, embodying sacrifice. Natasha faces Hydra leader Alexander Pierce, ending his control. Steve and Bucky battle fiercely, yet Steve refuses lethal force. He reminds Bucky of who he was, not what Hydra made him. The helicarriers crash into the Potomac, destroying Project Insight permanently. The system built on fear collapses. Victory comes at great cost, physically and emotionally. Steve chooses loyalty over survival, willing to die believing Bucky still exists. Steve survives the crash, pulled from the river by Bucky himself. This act proves Bucky's humanity remains. Confused and shaken, Bucky flees, uncertain of his identity. Steve awakens in a hospital, mourning both victory and loss. S.H.I.E.L.D. is dismantled, its corruption exposed globally. Natasha testifies publicly, sacrificing secrecy for truth. The world changes. Power structures crumble. Steve faces a future without the organization he served. Yet he feels lighter. Freedom demands responsibility. He commits to finding Bucky, not as a mission, but as a promise. Friendship becomes his compass in an uncertain world. Bucky wanders anonymously, searching fragments of his past. Museum exhibits trigger memories long suppressed. He begins questioning Hydra's lies. Meanwhile, Steve trains with Sam, preparing for future threats. Their bond deepens through shared ideals. Natasha chooses a new path, independent and honest. The team disbands but remains connected by trust. Hydra's fall reveals how deeply fear corrupted institutions. Steve reflects on his place in modern society. He realizes fighting for freedom means constant vigilance. The enemy may not always wear uniforms. Sometimes it hides within systems. The battle for liberty is ongoing, demanding courage beyond physical strength. The Winter Soldier's identity becomes a symbol of stolen humanity. Bucky's struggle mirrors Steve's fear of losing oneself to power. The film explores surveillance, control, and moral compromise. Technology amplifies intent, not ethics. Steve rejects predictive justice, defending free will. Hydra believed safety justified tyranny. Steve believes choice defines humanity. Their conflict transcends fists and weapons. It becomes philosophical. Each character chooses who they are despite pressure. The story warns against surrendering freedom for security. Trust must be earned, not enforced. Loyalty to principles outweighs obedience to authority. Captain America stands as resistance against fear-driven control. Captain America. The Winter Soldier redefines superhero storytelling through political tension and emotional depth. It challenges blind trust in institutions and questions modern warfare. Steve Rogers remains timeless because his values adapt without compromise. The Winter Soldier's tragedy adds personal stakes to global conflict. Action serves character, not spectacle alone. The film balances espionage with heart, grounding fantasy in realism. It proves heroism is standing firm when systems fail. Steve's shield becomes a symbol of protection, not aggression. The movie ends with hope rooted in truth. Freedom survives when individuals choose integrity over comfort, courage over fear, and humanity over control.